The path of Ahlu-S-Sunnah and the obligation of following them. Know, may Allah have mercy upon you, that in a very well-known hadith, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam warned us about 72 sects that would deviate from the correct path of the Muslims. He said in the hadith narrated by Abu Dawood and others, وَإِنَّ هَذِهِ الْأُمَّةَ سَتَفْتَرِقُ عَلَى 73 فِرْقَةٍ كُلُّهَا فِي النَّارِ إِلَّا وَاحِدَةٍ. Surely this nation will divide into 73 factions. All of them will be in hellfire except one. And that path is the way of Ahlu-S-Sunnah wal-Jamaءah, the people of the Sunnah and the majority. They are called Ahlu-S-Sunnah for short, or even the Sunniyy Muslims. They are referred to in a hadith narrated by At-Tirmidhi, فَمَنْ أَراد بحبوحة الجنة فليلزم الجماعة. Whoever wishes for the prosperity of paradise, then let them adhere to al-Jama'a. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught his companions that 72 out of 73 different sects would be in hellfire. Some of them will dwell in hell forever because of a kufr belief that they had, and some will dwell therein for a limited time known to Allah due to a deviant creed that did not reach kufr. Because every creed that does not comply with the creed of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions is a major sin if it does not reach the level of kufr. Only one group out of the 73 groups would deserve paradise without being tortured in hell first. The companions asked the Prophet about that single group, and he said to them, Al-Jama'a. Ahlu-S-Sunnah, the people of the Prophet's method, is the group with the largest following. In one narration, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إِنَّ أُمَّتِي لَا تَجْتَمِعُ عَلَى ضَلَالَةٍ فَإِذَا رَأَيْتُمُ اخْتِلَافًا فَعَلَيْكُمْ بِالسَّوَادِ-ال-أَعْظَمِ. Surely my nation does not unanimously agree upon any misguidance. So if you see unacceptable differences amongst you, then adhere to the vast majority. These different narrations of hadith comply with each other. There is no contradiction between that single guided group being the Jama'a and being As-Sawadu-l-Aḥdham, the vast majority. Jama'a means group, but it must be explained to comply with the other hadiths. So in this context, it means the majority. In another narration, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam described that group as مَا أَنَا عَلَيْهِ وَأَصْحَابِي, the group which is upon what my companions and I are upon. There is still no conflict in the different descriptions of Ahlu-S-Sunnah, for historically, the majority of Muslims have always had the same belief since the time of the companions, who never disagreed about the basics of belief amongst themselves. The companions were all together on the same path, and they did not divide into factions. As for the next generation, most of those who were attributed to Islam were upon the path of the companions, and a minority deviated. And this is the case for every generation that came after. The majority of Muslims did not disagree about the validity of the rulerships of the 4 pious khalifahs after the Prophet, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali. Nor did they deny the torture of the grave, or believe that major sins take a person out of Islam. They did not deny that Allah can be seen, although He is seen without having a shape, form, or color, and without being in a place. And this point will be revisited in future lessons, inshaAllah. They did not deny destiny, or deny that there will be believers who will be tortured in hellfire, or that people have a will, voluntary acts, and a choice, all of which were beliefs held by different deviant groups throughout history. Never has the majority disagreed about the basics of the correct belief, and we challenge anyone to bring evidence of such a disagreement. Until today, 75 to 80% of the nation has the same belief. And from that, we know that the so-called Salafis are deviant people, since they consider most of the Muslims throughout the world as mushriks and heretics, because the Muslims believe in good innovations and tawassul, which the Wahhabiyya deem shirk. And the clarification of tawassul and innovations will come insha'Allah ta'ala, and Allah knows best.